Fatality.
This is the Randi Rhodes Show. To speak with Randi, dial 561-270-3844. That's 561-270-3844.
People are not affecting climate change. You're going to tell me that back in the Ice Age, how much taxes did people pay and how many changes did governments make to melt the ice? The climate is going to continue to change. And there is no reason to just open up our borders and allow everyone in and continue to funnel over $50 billion or however many billions of dollars or trillions of dollars to foreign countries all over the world simply because they don't like the climate change.
What a brainiac. Don't you feel safe and secure knowing that you have a brain like that on it for you in the United States House of Representatives? I mean, seriously, dude, this woman is bat crap, and she's trash and garbage on top of it. And she is literally holding hearings on climate change. Listen, Marge, climate change and all of the things, I don't want to use big words. I don't want to use multisyllabic words around her. She won't understand. It's a multi-trillion-dollar market, okay? Multi-trillion-dollar market. People in this world, on this planet, take it seriously, and they would like to see coal stop being burned. They would like to see greenhouse gases reduced. They would like to see, renewables. They would like to see a different way of powering their population other than dirty fuel. And if you don't believe... people in the Ice Age, they didn't pay taxes, everybody. And the ice melted. It did. And nobody paid to have the ice melted. And yet it did. And that's what you should, accept as your future. Oh, my God. It's a massive, massive marketplace. Batteries and factories that make microchips and all of this stuff is a multi-trillion-dollar market. But she just doesn't want America to be part of it. Why? Why? Because she represents fossil fuel. This is what I'm talking about. They represent the most elite on this planet. They represent the most elite in this country and their hopes and desires and dreams and wishes to continue down the fossil fuel path. And she will say any damn thing at all in order to tell people that you don't have to think about it. You don't have to. I already thought about it, and we didn't have anybody melting ice in the Ice Age, and yet we don't have ice anymore because the Ice Age ended, and it ended on its own, and this will also end on its own. And she will not participate in a multi-trillion-dollar marketplace that is there, that we could actually lead. Because she's a brainiac. And she's thought about it. Oh, my God. We are in such deep crap. Now, if you think she's the only one, ask yourself, is Paul Gosar sane? Right. This is the entry level that we start at when we're assessing our representation. And then when you look at these state legislatures and you realize that their entire MO is anybody that they disagree with, they shut them down. No free speech for you. None in Nebraska, none in Montana, certainly none in Tennessee. No free speech for you. We don't like your ideas. We don't like the way that you, express it. We're just going to undo the results of an election where the people of your district voted for you to be their voice. We will just expel you. We will just prevent you from coming to work. We will just keep you out of the House. We will keep you out of the Senate. We will say whatever we have to say. In the case of the woman in Nebraska, what do they say? They say, oh, she has a financial stake in the outcome of the Let Them Grow Act because her son, they make $12,000 a year as a state senator in Nebraska, $12,000 a year, right? And she's got some financial stake in the outcome of the Let Them Grow Act because if we actually don't do the banning of the puberty blockers, then maybe one day, I swear to God, we'll go back and the federal government will let Medicaid pay for transgender health care, which it doesn't now, and it hasn't since the 1990s. So maybe if we, do that, I mean, anything at all to shut down debate, anything at all to rob people of their vote, anything at all to rob people of their representation, anything at all to rob people of their free speech. And then you have idiot boy over there telling me that he's the arbiter of what is true things, that he knows what's being debated in this country with regard to civil rights. I mean, they're insane. It's just insanity. Jackie in Oregon.
Hi, Randy. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh, hi.
Hi. I have a question, but I'm going to preface it by saying that I'm a multiracial Jewish female who is a senior citizen and is now going through civil rights too. And I've still managed to thrive somehow. Here's my question. Before the 24-hour news cycle, we would get the facts, and that was it. And I appreciate the work that you're doing because you're swimming upstream against the other information. However, Tucker Carlson has been fired. And for some reason, the American media machine feels that it's necessary to continue to amplify his voice.
That's because he's not done with you. And he's not benign. And the damage that he's done is vast and huge and deep, okay? And he's not done. Do you think he's just going to go gently into that good night? Do you think we're done with him? Do you really? Do you think this is over?
No, I don't.
Right.
No.
And if you think the 24-hour news cycle is a new thing, I mean, this has been going on since the advent of CNN. Ted Turner started the 24-hour news cycle. So what is it, like since the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010, 40 years there's been a 24-hour news cycle. And the reason why you're able to thrive, Jackie, and the reason why I'm able to thrive is because we aren't starting our families now. We made it through that. But our daughters have less rights than we do. They're not going to be able to thrive.
I understand all of that, but I just don't understand why. And I know you're not doing it, okay? And this is more of a statement than anything else. I just spent 10 years teaching high school in California, and I left California, by the way, because I couldn't afford to retire there after living there my entire life.
Right.
I'm just hoping for something a little bit more hopeful. I know he's not done. I know none of them are done because the Orange Menace, we have to hear about him every day. I have to see him in the newspaper. And he's not relevant. I know he's squawking, okay? But I just don't understand why I have to see him, okay, both of them, listen to this ridiculous rhetoric that they're hearing as opposed to counter, not you, because I know you're giving us the truth, but it's difficult for other people to navigate their way through the water, including these young people, if they don't have any point of reference. And all they're hearing is, we hate you, you don't have the right to exist. They tried to get rid of both of the
But
justices.
they're not buying it. That's the beauty of Gen Z. Gen Z is running for office. Gen Z is getting elected. Gen Z are the generation that actually got silenced, that got expelled, okay? They're not confused about what to do and how to do it. They know exactly what's going on, okay? So
right.
They're navigating everything, fine. Max Frost is a congressman, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson. They've created a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-generational coalition, in Tennessee, for God's sake, So
yes.
I don't see why people have a beef with, the idea that, they're not hearing anything but X. They know what's going on.
Right, and I would rather have the media amplify the good work that these people are doing, the good work that Gen Z is doing.
We totally focused on when, everybody's expelled. That's why I was, started with Zoe Zephyr today because, the good work that those people do, and when they get expelled or when they get banned from coming to work, that needs to be talked about. That needs to be explained. And part of the explanation is people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson who go to the lowest common denominator and point at those people and say they're different or say that they're ugly or say that they're scary or say that they don't have the right to exist or don't talk to me about gender because it's just two and that's the way I see it and that's the way it is and blah, blah, blah. And expel them and cost them, cost the voters their representation. That's why.
Okay. Well, I had the question and you answered it and I appreciate it. I appreciate everything that you do. And I hope that your voice and other people who report the news the way you do
I'm
amplified.
just saying you can't be reductive about how we got here. You have to actually understand how we got here. And it was by giving permission to people who hate to hate. And the people that did that, the people that gave the permission slip to the people who are enraged and disoriented and resentful, they're not gone. They're not out of our lives. Listen, Donald Trump has to die in jail for me to be satisfied, but I don't talk about him very often. I just, but he's going to run for president. And guess what? We're going to have to discuss it. And Tucker Carlson isn't gone, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is current. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.